Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Runix Heavy Duty 89 Series. High efficiency, brushless 20-volt motor. All-in-one professional angle grinder kit. Runix brushless angle grinder.
Welcome to the home of Pure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. In an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall, to our state-of-the-art bottling facility. Situated on an ancient underground lake. We're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse. To breathe life into every bottle of pure water, without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients. Water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. It's a wonderful evening here. In fact, this evening is one of the most beautifulest evenings in Trinidad and Tobago. And for those of you who have asthma, I came outside and you could almost feel the Sahara dust in your hand. So I really feel it for you outside here. Try to limit your movements outside, please, especially those children who are easily affected. Because remember, asthma is not something you play with. And always keep your inhalers or whatever devices you use. What you call that thing again, boy? What is used when they go sometimes to get the... Boy, I don't know. I have 10 of them here, and nebulizer. Right, the nebulizer, yes, yes, yes. Anyway, let me just welcome our first sponsor. And of course, our first sponsor is Style Expression. And let me just apologize for my absence last week. I just had to fly out for a short bit, and I am back. And of course, the program is live. Just to let you know that many of you called, wanted to find out, well, what was taking place this afternoon. Well, tonight, the program is on. Plus, we have a lot to talk about. But first things first, before I bring on I wouldn't say guest, my co-host, because this is a man, I feel what should happen now is that in my absence, I should let Richard host the program. Next thing you know what might happen there? Richard come back the next week, and then he come back the next week, and I find like Richard tell me, well, he could stay home to dinner. And he take over this program. The good thing here about Richard hosting this program is that we will have a lot more space for the advertisers in the back. You will get to see more information. I'll leave that right there, Richard. Let me just wish a young lady happy birthday today. Guys, we ready? Did I send that to you guys? Yes. Yes, let me wish a happy 90th birthday to my sister-in-law, Nadisha. Right? I tell Boto, send my photo. Up to now, I'm waiting on Boto to send my photo, my brother. This is my brother's wife. Right? I would like to wish her all the best I don't want to say my years, but one is that the only reason you look young is because you have a good heart. Right? So all the best from all of us, from me, my wife, the children, the IBN family, the Bamboo residents, the community of St. Augustine, the constituency of St. Augustine, the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation. All right, let me leave that right here. All right, so because tonight is a serious night. All right, so let us get things started. Of course, I would like to just welcome my wingman here, Mr. Jagisa. Mr. Jagisa, fall in one time, man. Don't afraid. You fall in here one time.
Problem?
Nah, look, you come on the wrong side. Okay, you come in. Right, good. Mr. Jagisa, pleasure to have you in our company here, of course. This week was a very hectic week, and of course, I'm going to leave you to address many of the issues tonight. But I'm sure that all the people who are watching right now, one of the things that they want to hear about is the case, how things went, how it progressed. But just to let people know, right, take a look at this, right? Take a look at the team, our team. I just want to show you the team of lawyers who represented. And of course, Richard was the lead. Richard was the lead on this one. And of course, we have Ms. Gopi Singh, Mr. Cole. The instigator is me, Richard Jagisa, and of course, Mr. Trancuso. And on the other side, we have the team who was representing the other side. Could we get the other side, please? Yes. We have Gilbert Peterson, SC, Senior Counsel. Keith Scotland, is he? MP/Senator.
No, MP.
Member
of Parliament.
Member of Parliament. And of course, we have Karim Marcel.
Attorney at law.
So therefore, those were the three representatives from the other side. And of course, representing court, we had Vieira and SC,
and
Senior
Senator.
Counsel. And Senator. So we had senior counsels, we had members of Parliament. The only thing we didn't have is Prime Minister and President.
Yes, maybe soon to be.
You could never tell. Mr. Jagisa, take us through the scenario. What led us to being where we are today?
Well, can we get the...
Right. Guys, Justin, I gave you a shot with 3 pages. Could we get those 3 pages? Right. This is
we could open there. We could open there.
Right. I decided to hit your triple shot water.
Oh, God. So, as many of you know, the judgment came down on Monday. The Honorable Justice Frank C. Prasad delivered his decision in the matter of Inchan Ishmael and Western Crocro Rollins. At the end of the decision, Crocro has been ordered to pay to Inchan Ishmael the sum of $250,000, inclusive of exemplary damages, which is pure. I'll get into what that means in a couple of minutes, and cost your legal fees at the prescribed rate. And what this judgment really does, this judgment is a significant judgment, not just for Mr. Ishmael or the parties involved, but for all of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The judgment settles long outstanding issues and the recently debated issues of freedom of speech versus the law of defamation, and how calypso, as a cultural instrument, intertwines with that law. This judgment goes so far as to vindicate those who have been attacked in the past, such as Satmaraj, Basudev Pandey, Omar Pandey, Veera Bhajan,
Dr.
Vijay.
Vijay from
Narayan Singh.
Narayan Singh. In fact, he's Professor Vijay Narayan Singh.
And so many more.
Yes.
When we get into the judgment, we'll see where the judge specifically addressed that because of, or perhaps because of Krokro's previous victories at the Calypso Soca Monarch in similar attacks, he felt emboldened to launch this unreasonable, rantankerous, salacious attack on Mr. Ishmael.
But it's actually the first time I actually heard that word. I have never heard that word before, and when the judge said that word, I had to actually go outside and check to see if that is actually... I have never heard the word rantankerous. I've heard cantankerous.
And raucous.
Yes, raucous, which is used a lot to describe me, but go ahead.
Me too. All of my teachers in primary school describe me as raucous.
No, my wife does say, look here back and a lawyer come. Go ahead.
And what this judgment really does and why it's so significant is because one of our constitutionally protected fundamental rights, freedom of expression, freedom of thought, and freedom to one's private life. And of course, freedom of the press, which seems to be under attack now following the decision. Contrary to what those are saying outside now following the delivery of the decision, this decision actually saves Calypso. It gives Calypso an opportunity to breathe. It gives Calypso an opportunity to check itself and promote what it really was developed for in our history, which is to give a voice to the voiceless. And therein, I say, the judgment saves Calypso. And I want to take this moment and pause and congratulate those who have adopted the words of the judgment, such as the president of Tuko and so on, many, many, many more, who have said, at the end of the day, the judgment is now law, the judgment is groundbreaking, and we have to follow what it says. And it is very fair and balanced. So for those who are saying certain things about the judge and certain things about us and all of that, it's a 191 paragraph judgment. It's public information. Read it, and I dare you to find a flaw in it.
I want to ask you a question, Richard. What happens, and this pertains to what you just said about a lot of people saying things about the judge. Now, I have not won all my cases, and one of the cases I lost was in front of, one of the few that I lost was with Justice Frank C. Prasad.
Yes.
So this myth about I always winning cases with certain judges, that's a myth.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, if someone attacks a sitting judge in terms of accusations and allegations, isn't there a process for something like that? Because you cannot be attacking sitting judges.
Yeah, and the integrity of the judge.
Right. What is the process where that is concerned?
There's a series of options available, not only to the judge, but to the judiciary at large. And I'm excited to see which ones they adopt. And that's all I would say about it for now.
Okay, good. So something like this, what I have been looking at too, Richard, and it causes me concern, is that I have been fighting cases all my life, and every case that we have fought has not been for myself. But I'll tell you something. You never saw my mother and father. I just want to show you a picture of my mother and father. This is the picture that you're about to see here. This is my mother and father. That is my father, and that is my mother. And I dedicated my faux pas, my error with the ED at the end of my father's name. I was moving with speed this afternoon. This is my father, and that's my mother. Both of them sacrifice. Come back to me, guys. And what happens is that both of them sacrifice to get land in bamboo. My mother bought the land in bamboo, but all of a sudden you hear we squat and thief land. Right? My mother used to mine chicken. My father used to work in Carib Glassworks as a manager. And he sacrificed to take us where we are. And Richard, I could not watch a man who rode a bicycle to the mosque every single day. When there was a funeral in the Muslim community, my father would put on his black pants and a white shirt jack. I'm sure Mr. Jagger would be familiar with the shirt jack the elderly people as well. And he would walk or travel on the road to go to that funeral. And that is the man whose name I carry, Richard. Why would I allow somebody to take my father's name and disrespect it? And that is the position I took. I could have done like everybody else. Yesterday when I went to the supermarket, this elderly lady grabbed me and hugged me up Lego she basket, right? Telling me thank you for what I did. And to me, it means a lot. Because what others didn't do, you took it. Because I could have said to you, Richard, I have a problem with this one. You could have said, boy, that's just wasting time, you know. But you were the catalyst to get this going forward. And if it were not for you, we would not have reached where we reached today. So this has little to do with me, but more to do with you, sir.
And I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity, and as always, I thank you for the opportunity to serve, not only at the judicial level, but at any level. And in this case, I think this decision is a catalyst for change on all spheres, on all genre of music, on all public speaking platforms. It's important. It's important that we understand what this decision does. I made it an undeniable point in the trial that Calypso, for example, Rash Shorty's song, Watch Out My Children, I made it a point that Calypso is not only a tool for education, but a tool for change, cultural and so on. It does not have to be used for racial divisiveness. And the judge made that point clear, quoting some Calypsos in his judgment as well. Coming off of that, Rash Shorty, for example, then there are other artists, Kes Defintala, for example, Marshall Montano, different genre of music, and still they promote this idea of love and unity. And that's all we ask for. And as you said, it's important, and I thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to do this case for you, so that we can make that point to see real change. And as you know, that is inherently why I became an attorney.
But correct me if I'm wrong here, and I'm sure those people who are sitting by the side of us would verify this as well. But there was times when if you did not sing a certain tune to a certain party, toilet paper would be flung at you on stage. You would be insulted. You would have to run off the stage. If you're not familiar with that, that was not too long ago. Now, I'm glad you mentioned the different genre, because we had the Chutney Soca Monarch recently. And I said to myself, and I was one of those critical, in fact, I put up a post that if you keep repeatedly flushing our toilet, it may sound better than some of the songs that we actually hear. Because if it's not this one horn, that one, if it's not this one drunk, if it's not the outside woman, and we have taken these songs and brought it down to a new low level where we have children. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to do with the Chutney Soca Monarch, the Ministry of Social Development, when the ministry pays for a first place or a second place or a third place, isn't there criteria that your songs must be so and so or X, Y, and Z, and it must conform to what they would want in their mind as something appropriate?
It should be, yes.
Good. How is it that if we listen to some of these songs, how is it that some of these songs could even come and place and the nation building song could get put out? And that is of concern to me, because you see, in Trinidad and Tobago, the problem is the vice and the bacchanal and the racism, because you would listen to two of us on air tonight. Everybody would listen. Literally, tens of thousands would listen. You would not hear us calling anybody anything. Even though this was an attack on me, we never called one day for anybody's show to be boycotted. And in fact, there was a thing that they put up for assistance for Crow. And I believe, guys, you have it, where I personally donated $100 towards the fund. Imagine that. Watch it there, right? Western Rollins, Incheon Ishmael credit $100. That can't be bad, mind. Richard? What my thanks at least now? That's $2 at KFC.
$2 at KFC.
Yeah, no.
I just only need half a box.
We're leaving that right here. Now, you head on into which direction you want to take it, because I am not going to control your train of thought.
Yes. Can we get the judgment, and can we go to paragraph 133? In the meantime, as I was saying, and you correctly identified it, it's a nation-building decision, and that's how we have to look at it. I know those that profit on racial division are seeking to implant it on us. I know those that profit on segregation are seeking to cast that on us. That is not what we are asking people to do. Right. That is not what a decision does. Just scroll. I'll tell you.
133, go down.
Yeah.
Pull it down to 133. Let me move it a little faster. At that speed, we wouldn't finish.
Remember the judge said it's a short judgment?
Right.
Only, and you say, oh, good.
That's which one? Is this one you want? Or?
Yeah, this is fine. You can just scroll all the way down.
Right. Could you scroll all the way along, Justin, or you save that as separate pages? Go down.
He's going, yes.
Keep going.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the judgment. This is available
want it almost to the end, then?
for public
almost
viewing. You can view it at any time. It's available on TT Law Court's website and so on. Yes, let's go back up to 133.
Right, go back up to 133, Justin.
Actually, you can. Okay, go ahead.
Oh God, we're going to 25 now. 133. Right, we're close.
All right, let's go one more.
Right, good. There we go.
All right. Now,
zoom in.
This is fine.
Good.
This is fine.
Nice.
Because you can zoom out a little bit. I want to refer to these two paragraphs.
All right.
Now there was an expert witness on Calypso called Professor Zeno Constance, and he was called by the defendant's team of attorneys to give evidence, and he asked for he gave expert evidence on Calypso, its history, and so on. Now, what I want to read here at 133 is this. Of course, this is the judgment. This is the judge saying this. Unfortunately, and for far too long, divisive content and lyrics which fuel racial tensions or attack portions of the population have been performed at Calypso tents. Again, this is where we're saying this is an opportunity to pause and stop and remember the true purpose of Calypso and music in general, and things that are unique to our culture. And this has not augured well for the viability of the art form, and as a likely result, Calypso tents are now virtually empty. Their expert witness gave us this information at trial. So what does this tell us? This tells us that people, and I believe it's another paragraph, if you can search the words public purse, power in the purse, if you can search that phrase, you'll get the paragraph. It says more or less that there is power in the sword, there is power in the pen, and we have to understand that there's power in the purse. And people will not easily part with their monies if they are paying monies to hear themselves ridiculed on racial lines at the Calypso tents. And that's the point that we're making. And that's the point that we ask everybody to understand coming out of this decision. So coming out of that, what we want to do is we want to understand two things. One, Calypso in general seems to have lost some weight behind it because of these racial lyrics. I hope that ends, and I think it will, given the president's stance. In the past, Crow is a 4-time Calypso Monarch winner, and it was mentioned in the judgment that every time he won prize monies for his lyrics and his songs. And while he may have suffered some degree of criticism, he was never called upon in the past to justify his lyrics. And this is the first time it has been done, and he was unable to justify the lyrics. So if you are singing a song and you want to be Calypso, extempo, and so on, that's all. The judgment saves Calypso because it tells us you can go ahead so long as you can justify the lyrics. And of course, it does not do any harm to Calypso. It saves it. Anything you want to?
No, what I'm is that basically what you're saying there is absolutely fact, and we make that clear. And in the interviews that I did, Richard, I told them that the fact is that there was a time when you could feel comfortable going in a Calypso tent. one has to ask the question. Mr. Cole, you could have a seat there, sir. Right? One has to ask the question, right? Why would people feel uncomfortable about going to a particular tent or a particular place? Who brought that upon themselves? And when the gentleman, the historian, was being questioned, he admitted that he did not listen to the whole song. Right? Imagine that. You bring a witness, right, to testify on your behalf. And this reminds me of a case that I had done. And when the witness had come up, they claimed, the officers claimed that I had a gun with their witness, etc. But when another witness came, he said I had a silver rectangular object with a light on it. And it reminds me of that. Your witness statement did not really benefit the people who you came there for. Because when you say that you are supporting something but you didn't listen to a song, what does that tell us?
Yes, I think it is important to understand in trials, experts come and give evidence to help the court. And in this case, he gave evidence that helped the court perfectly, and he helped the country. And let's be clear on that. He helped us move one step further to saving Calypso, which he has been advocating for quite some time. So we thank him for his evidence, and we thank him for his service.
I want to, guys, could we get, there was a slide that I sent with three different persons. The president of TUCO, I believe it's Chokdas. Chokdas, there was two, right. Chokdas said, we can't stop singing Calypso, and we can't stop singing political Calypso. That's a beautiful thing. Good political Calypso is a beautiful thing, a beautiful art that we have. We can't throw away that. We can't stop singing political Calypso. No one ever said for you to stop. At the end of the day, the Calypso about me was not a political Calypso. It was a defamatory Calypso. You cannot go and say that somebody, right, sells stolen car parts or X, Y, and Z when it is not true. I have no record. I have never been convicted of stolen cars or stolen car parts, so therefore that did. Sugar Aloes went on to say, Calypsonians were fully aware of the thin line they tread when dealing with the social and political issues within the society, and as such, should always ensure they do not open themselves up to liability. Now listen to this. Well, there are so many people who do that, you know. I think the individual, referring to Krokro, is the only person who believes he was untouchable. And this is Sugar Aloes making that statement. The only person, but everybody else used to be very carefully said. Zeno Obi Constance, the gentleman we was just talking about, the historian, he said political Calypso has been facing challenges for quite some time. And at this moment, from the commentary he had seen on social media about the case, Krokro did not have the full support of those in the industry. And this is absolutely fact. When you look at the, at statements that were being made and how it was coming across, you would realize that the country was severely divided on this. And I think that is why, Richard, that Justice Frank C. Prasad saw the need to have a swift judgment in this matter because of the nature and how polarized this could cause our country to become. All right, so when you look at this whole issue that we had, where the matter came and it went, I could have sat down like everybody else and just say, happening, boy, man talking, man singing, and let's leave it as that, it doesn't matter. But this is the problem that we have in Trinidad. The sad reality is that everybody's saying, leave me, leave it, don't worry yourself, let them just sing. No, I am not going down that road. I have gone down that road enough. And one of the things that we have done is that this week, almost 10 or 12 different programs, we are asking the Telecom Authority for copies of those programs. And we are not only going after the hosts, we have to look at the broadcast license and the breach of the broadcast license of those radio stations, because there are certain radio stations in Trinidad and Tobago who are guilty of breaching the broadcast code again and again and again, and they get away. And that is something that I have concern with, because how come in Shan Ishmael, could make a statement and all of a sudden the telecom authority writing me letter every week, every month. In fact, I went in and my lawyer, Richard Jagisa, had to write them to say, hey, where is the problem? Why it is all of a sudden that, you know, that, hold on 1 second, I need to take a urgent call. Yeah, hello?
Hey, what's happening, brother?
Not much, talk to me.
Just call to tell you congratulations.
Well, I'm live on air. Let me put you on air. Let me put you on, hold on. No?
I just want to tell you congratulations. Call when you come up.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to reason one or two things with you.
Thank you. Okay, good. That was former Attorney General Anand Logan. When you look at this, everything okay, Pap? Good. Right. You get me worried there, no? I see like that call here. Right? So what I was mentioning, Richard, is that I have been given so many letters from the Telecom Authority for things which were considered ridiculous, like the last letter that you had to reply to with the word F and then ing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you didn't say the word.
No.
Right.
And what happened is that they saw a problem with that. But yet it is, you have certain people preaching race every day on certain radio stations, which you are aware of and I'm aware of, but apparently they're untouchable.
Yes. Yes. And on that note, can I get paragraph 187? It's the paragraph I wanted to make reference to earlier. And then after that, I think we could wrap up the judgment. And if anybody has any questions, they could always just, we could probably open the lines for some calls or something.
What?
But let's go to.
Find you moving swift, like she coming in to see her.
I don't know who you're talking about. So in the meantime, while they get 187, right. You can go ahead.
Right. Justin, pull up 187. Right. Yeah. Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
Perfect. Yes.
Good.
Earlier I mentioned, and I keep my promises, that I'll explain what this means, this exemplary damages that the court has awarded. Now, exemplary damages is a form of punishment. In other words, the judge is saying the 215 award is not enough. Something else has to be done so that this does not happen again. And this paragraph sort of encapsulates that. Although there was no express previously for exemplary damages, the evidence in this case has established that the first defendant, that's Krokro, acted with cynical disregard to the claimant's right to have his reputation protected against a scathing attack. And you understand that the background for one's right to reputation to be protected comes from the Constitution, as I mentioned earlier. The first defendant has no empirical evidence which could have led him to form a genuine belief that the claimant sold stolen car parts. And it is possible to conclude that the first defendant's decision to attack the claimant was motivated by a desire to teach the claimant a lesson, and by a belief, and this is the important part, and by a belief that the salacious and derogatory statements and the jab against the wider Indian community would resonate with his fan base and possibly win him favor with Calypso judges who in the past rewarded him with lucrative first prize purses for compositions which were less than complimentary to persons of East Indian origin or heritage. And all I have to say is if that is no longer done, you will certainly see this person of East Indian heritage. I consider myself a Trinidadian and a Trinbagonian. A Trinbagonian first and Trinidadian second. I consider myself that first. But you'll certainly see this Trinbagonian and yourself, I hope.
Yes.
Back in the Calypso time.
Yes. I go in. I have happening. I ready. I'll be there. Once it's clean, decent thing, better man, I will go. I have no problem. Moody will go. Patos will go. Mr. Jagasa will go. Mr. Cole will go. Caliph will go. We will go and relax. So I noticed one of the things that was not mentioned so far. There was a statement about doubles.
Yes.
And the judge drew attention to that as well.
Yes.
You want to just refresh my memory?
Certainly. Now the judgment came out Monday about midday, and we only got a written copy a couple hours later. So if I'm not able to refer to the exact paragraph numbers, please forgive me. And that's why we're having that bit of an issue. It's only been a few days,
right.
2 days.
Justin, if possible, if you could do a document search on the program itself and
for the
search
phrases.
for the word doubles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that should be fine.
Would help.
Yes.
If possible.
Now, what it says in essence is that the song says very plainly is we who does buy all your doubles and Sahina and Ting.
Yeah.
Right. I got the lyrics correct.
You got it correct.
I got it correct.
I'm looking to see if anybody mocking and jeering any back.
It's we who does buy all your doubles and pie and Ting. And the judge made note that this we and earlier refers to a racial division. Who is the we and who is the earlier? In fact, that formed part of my cross-examination, remember?
Yes.
I asked him, who is the we? Who is the we? I believe it's a paragraph 117. 127.
That is a clean night, boy.
127. Yes. And at the end of the day, that is what we're trying to avoid. Why is there a need for the we and the earlier? Where is the oneness? Where is the unity? We're all born here. We're all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and we all deserve to live peacefully with one another. Brethren must dwell peacefully with brethren. Islam even teaches that.
That's correct.
Extensively. That's correct. Hinduism as well, Christianity as well, and so on. All the religions unify on that one point. There we go. In this line of the song, now this is the lyrics that they said he sung, right? This is the pleaded lyric. They've said that he sung this lyrics, he's agreed to it and so on. Is we who does buy all your pie and doubles and ting. Is we who does wine in time when the chutney sing. That is why I hurt when Ishmael don't have a heart. Is we who does line up by all the doubles cart. And it's 117. Sorry, 126. We're at paragraph 3 here. So 126 is really where the judge will get into this we versus earlier concept. Why is that in the song? Yes. So that is the essence, the point the judge wanted to make. And that's the racial division and divisiveness that I don't want to see anymore. And as a young professional, I ask, I don't want to see division. As a young professional, as a young person, I asked, and I did this at the live as well.
Right.
It's because it is something I emulate not only in my personal life, but in my private life. There should be no Mother Africa, no Mother India, no Mother China. There should only be Mother Trinidad and Tobago. And I've emulated that throughout my entire life. And I don't want to see race. I don't want to see division by race, by culture, or by any other means, or by gender and so on. There must just be unity. And here we have it. We have the judge saying the court feels compelled to record, having reviewed the full text of the Calypso, its concern in relation to the following words, is we who does line up by all your doubles cart. The court asked itself whether this portion of the Calypso was a response to the claimant's comments and wondered who was the earlier and the we to which the Calypso referenced. The sad and inescapable conclusion, and I say again, the sad and inescapable conclusion is that the earlier likely referred to either persons who live in predominantly East Indian community of predominantly East Indian community of the Bamboo, or to the East Indian community in general, and we likely referred either to the residents of Bethlehem or persons of African heritage. Can we go down one more part? And therein is the division on race that we don't want to see again. Paragraph 129, the court further took issue with the connotation earlier doubles. Doubles is a national food and delicacy which unites poor and rich, the professional and the laborer. Listen to the language. The language is one of unity. Unites poor and rich. Unites the professional and the laborer. The claimant is by no means a spokesperson or leader of the Indo-Trinbagonian community. And the first defendant's commentary should have focused upon the claimant's comments. An entire ethnic community should not be attacked, ridiculed, or humiliated because issue is taken with a position adopted by an individual who hails from that community. And this reminds me that of the words of Dr. Eric Williams, who said democracy is the right and the protection of an individual's right over the subrogation of any other race over that of the human race. And we should remember that in every day of our lives.
Richard, what concerns me is that this has polarized our country. Let us face facts. Because on the East Indian radio stations, you're hearing one thing. And on the African radio stations, you're hearing another. The hate, the vitriol that is coming out, I think people need to understand and make it clear. We need to make this clear that this was in no way, we said it before, but I think we need to repeat it, that Richard, Inshan, Mr. Cole and others, we do not want to shut down Calypso. I have been critical of Chutney. because as I said before, I ain't even listening to that rubbish. So the fact is that, strange enough, they only look at one side. And I think we need to settle down now so that we can move forward as a country. My concern, as I said before, is that when you have these things taking place and people conveniently turn a blind eye and ear to certain radio programs and they come after me, I think I want to make a statement here now tonight. I think the board of the Telecom Authority, I think they need to resign based on what is taking place on the airwaves in Trinidad and Tobago right now. I think it is about time that somebody investigates if the board of the Telecom Authority is actually functioning. Because from what I am seeing, based on what is being heard on the airwaves, the entire board has fallen asleep. I know they're watching this program, but for other programs, I think they have fallen asleep and something has to be done. Because really and truly, it shows there's a level of serious bias. If I were to make one statement on my program, whereas other people are making hundreds and getting away, I mean, tomorrow this license would be gone. But why it is, certain people, because they push the government's agenda and they push this racist agenda, are being allowed to continue. And I think we need to address this seriously.
Yes, and it will augur well with democracy again. It augurs well with everyone having that freedom of speech, that freedom of press, that freedom to express one's thought, political views, and so on.
Right, so what we're going to do, I think this part, you have anything to add to this part of the case, or you want to take some calls and let us hear from the viewers?
We can open the lines for some calls for a bit.
Okay,
now we have some other issues to discuss. We
with
have
this,
some other...
No, in relation to this matter.
No, I think...
Good. Right, because we don't want to be too exhaustive. At the end of the day, people will think that we don't want to seem that we are overly doing it in terms of beating our chest, because how many cases we have before, how many files you have again?
23.
Mr. Cole? 23 files. 23 files Richard have. In fact, Richard bought a cabinet for me alone, right?
Yes, it's coming tomorrow.
We're going to open up our phone lines now. Remember, keep your comments brief. Be respectable. We have no issue with you disagreeing. We have no issue with you taking another side of the story. But all I ask is for you to be respectful, please. Right? So, callers, when you call in, turn down the volume on your television, please, so that we would be able to get, wouldn't have no feedback. Justin, I have had one or two people telling me that we have problems with flow audio. So, if you could just verify that flow, because anytime I'm dealing with critical issues on this program, all of a sudden our audio does start to give trouble. I don't know why, but what happens is that it has started to go out of whack. All right, so let's go to our phone lines. And again, callers, remember when you call in, turn down the volume on your television, please.
Yeah. Before we take the first call, I just want to say, just confirm, after we won the case, the first thing you did is go to your brother, correct?
Yes.
And I think that's significant. It says something. You see, family is important. Family you did. You didn't go on any radio station. You didn't go.
No interviews.
You went to your brother.
My brothers and him and family.
And you called me from the hammock. You video called me from the hammock.
Yes.
You went and relaxed with your family.
Yeah.
All right. You didn't look for any fight or was.
No.
There we go.
No,
there we go. I think we have a caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please. You're live.
Yeah, good evening. Inshan, I'm glad that this thing is settled eventually. You know, I remember, I don't know if you recall Mr. Pandey, God bless his soul. He made mention of these Calypsonians. He mentioned at one point in time he will not give them money to sing about he or his wife.
Yes.
In addition to which, I don't know if you recall that.
Yes, of course.
Right? In addition to which, Mr. Crow, apparently he has an issue with Indo-Trinidadian. When they were interviewing, when Black Stallion died, and they were interviewing, entertainers and so Calypsonians. When they went to him, the first thing this man will look to talk about is the man with the purse and cabinet. I mean, he has no limit to his mouth. But I'm glad you got through with this thing for once and for all. Bye.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you so much. Let's go back to our lines again. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, wait. Listen to the both of you, man. In some boy, I don't know why. Like the state or somebody, I mean authority, like the hell bent and getting rid of you, boy. You're a man doing so much good things in this country, right? For the poor people especially. But like they want to get rid of you. For them officers want to lock you up. Try to guard for the community until you build one by way. They could never lick it down. No, they want to bring it down in a song. Boy, what's something wrong with these people in this country, boy? People who are doing good, they don't like you. What is wrong, boy? All the best.
Thank you. What happens that, how do you saying go? You never pelt a full mango tree. I mean, your back will have to be broad because in fact, they have started to attack you. They have started to attack your family. And this is the nature and the disease that is Trinidad and Tobago. You know, you fight for something that is right and you being attacked. Well, that is madness. Hello? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum, Inchan.
Walaikum salam and good evening to you. Go ahead.
A very good supporter of yours. I want to congratulate you on the judgment and winning that.
Well, I would prefer you compliment my attorney and his team. I take no credit for this. I give them all the credit.
Watching Richard, how debonair he looking, man.
Yeah, no, Richard.
Thank you.
No, seriously, you know. If Richard really maturing into Nandidan, you know.
Yeah, Inchan, you know what I want to tell you? You know what you were just saying about the different stations, right? Yes, last night, you know, they have a people's forum where on CNC3, and so they interview people in Port of Spain on the judgment, right? And what they think. And here, man, it's really on racial lines. I look at it, Inchan, and the 3 Indian support the judgment, and the 3 African say, nah, something wrong. A Californian should sing what they want. And I watch that in what is this country going to? I hope, but this fella Kokro, he always feel that he could do what he want and sing what he want. And you know what we should do, Ancient? Go in the past and see all the calypsos he win, all the calypsos he win the crown with, and you go check the canal. He lambast Indian and Satmar throughout his life, you know, man, and will come and entrance and thing, you know. So we have to go and check his history and write it off. Any tent he going in, we must placard he too.
Well, I wouldn't say his whole history because I have no proof of his whole history. But
in turn, I just follow that fella, and I know these are. In turn, I want to say it.
No. We cannot label anybody. We cannot. Let us not go down that route, please. All right. Thank you very much. Right. Let's leave it at that. Thank you very much. Let's go again. Hello.
Yeah, Inchan, good night.
Good night.
Jagisa, good night.
Good night.
Inchan, you see what you do there? Watch me. Just start telling you, somebody needed to teach these people a lesson, man. Because, let me tell you something, it's getting out of hand. It was always out of hand, but it's like they say, they're saying what they want. They just tell people, a certain race of people, what they want all the time. And anytime we answer that, it's something else now. We shall understand that.
No, but to be fair, I am on social media. I have about 200,000 followers, and it works on both sides. So we cannot say one side does it alone. So therefore, that is unfair. In fact, during the 2015 elections, it was totally disgusting from the side of the Indians. So therefore, let us not go down this road of believing that only one side does it. Because I believe in fairness, and to me, both sides are guilty of the same exact thing. I am not going to say one is more guilty or not, because I have seen some of the nastiest comments from the other side too. But that is not, that is not where I want to go down. The road that I want to go down is how we start to improve this country, how we start to move forward, how we start to take it forward. Because if something could be blatantly, Richard, put yourself in the people who vex. Put yourself in my position, where somebody call your son or your father a car thief. If you comfortable with that, I am not the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem. Because if you are comfortable with somebody labeling your child or your father, you need to do some introspection. Seriously. You ready to go again, Richard? Hello?
Sure.
Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, he's still talking. Inshan still talking.
No, go ahead. I'm listening to you. You're live now. Go ahead.
Yeah, Inshan.
Yes, go ahead.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. If you notice what Hainsley King said, if you notice what Hainsley King said this morning on the news. Yeah, talking. You hear me?
No. Caller, you are listening to your television. Do not listen to your television. Move away from your television and listen to your telephone, please, because we'll go on all night like this. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, go ahead, please. You're live. Go ahead.
Inshan.
Yes,
You're
sir.
doing a wonderful job. And that young man you got with you there is a brilliant man.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
It's a strange thing how somebody could take brain from a stranger. Me, I'm talking about. All right, okay. Thank you very much, caller. Let's go again. Hello?
Lori calling.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes,
Hi.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, Inshan. I listened to your program, a very interesting program. And maybe it'll progress in the correct direction.
Thank you very much, caller.
What I was saying, I believe it kind of softening up to kind of make things look kind of nicer because you're saying it happened on both sides. But you're looking at the majority of the times, people are victimized and racism is institutionalized in this country. You need to look at that and look at and see which is maximum and minimum. So you just soften up and say it happened on both sides. But
let me just engage you a bit. I agree with you 100% that there are certain areas where you will have pressure. For example, I as a young Indian businessman, well, young about 30 years ago, I catch in my nenen for foreign exchange. There's blatant discrimination in the distribution of foreign exchange. When you look at certain things as well, within, if you were to break it apart, there's more for some and less for others. But what I was referring to is that on the social media platform, I specifically mentioned that it is balanced on both sides. On the UNC page is cost, and on the PNM page is cost. So both sides. So on that platform, specifically, it's ridiculous on both sides.
All right.
You understand? But I agree with you.
If you go back in time,
I agree with you.
You will realize where the maximum and minimum is. But what I want to say, it's surprising at this present time is that the people in high authority and the Prime Minister is still pushing his head, boy. He's still pushing his head after all of these things about the Calcutta ship into Tobago and so on. He's still pushing his head, which is very, very disappointing.
Yeah, but you see, we're going to make a statement there, and then I will say, what about blank man? You know what I mean? So let us not go down that road now, because both sides, and then you have the ads with bananas and all kind of thing. We will keep going down the same road. Let us move out from that, and let us go into an area where we could start to recover from this, where we could start to nurture a better Trinidad and Tobago. I don't want this. I really don't want this. Hello?
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening.
Okay, I'm just calling in connection with Coco, because it's not the first time that he's made racial remarks. Because I remember once in Arima, they had a concert.
Or remarks that were perceived to be, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct,
yeah. And in the show.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, in the show, he was actually throwing remarks against Indian people. And all the Indian people got up and walked up the show.
And so when was that? When was that? Long time ago?
It was a couple of years ago. So it's something that's been happening a long time. It's not now happening. And it's about time somebody did stand up to him. Because this is nonsense that he was doing. And your lawyer, I said, well, you're a young lawyer there, boy. A young man.
Yeah, Richard is only 31 years?
30.
And job well done, man. Job well done.
30 years. So Richard has been practicing over only 7 years. And he has, how long ago you wrote the book on the judiciary?
2 years ago.
2 years ago he wrote a book. So at 28 years, 27 years, he wrote a book on the judiciary. So this young man, I don't plot in a cause for here already, because this is the type of person I want to see representing us. This is the man I want in San Agustin or Shogunas West representing me. That is the kind of blood I need. Hello? Where's the Patu? Right, you see, Patu's agree. Patu's moving Shogunas West. You want to add anything before we take the next caller, Richard?
Yeah, just to remind you, we have the other issues to discuss.
Yes. Okay,
and
so
hot on that press.
we will take 3 more calls, take a break, because we have the other issue, right? This one, I'm going to like this one. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Right. Is this John?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes. Till I get through. Okay. You know what it is always said? Give every man thine ear, but few thine tongue. The tongue could really kill you, but you are positive. Real positive. And this is a lesson to Trinidad and Tobago. We are one. There is no Indian, there is no Creole, there is nothing. There is just one union. And if we do that, we'll be on a positive. And we will succeed in everything we do.
Thank you.
You want to tell you that?
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. But let me ask you a question, Richard, before we take the other caller. Isn't it fact when you send out a pre-action protocol letter, that is warning of impending action, and you have the opportunity to circumvent that legal action?
Yes. That is the purpose of the pre-action protocol letter step. You can engage in discussions, you can engage in negotiations, you can admit liability, you can discuss quantum and so on. A plethora of options available to you. If you're referring to this particular case, it is public record that when we send the pre-action protocol letter, the defendant's response was, let him come, I have court closed. No.
But I think that was done through the media. It was not done through an attorney. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. He never responded to the pre-action protocol
Which
letter.
by law you are supposed to, correct?
He ought to have, yes.
Right, you ought to have. So therefore, he was given an opportunity to say, well, here, boy, I do stupidness. At the end of the day, well, is that how we could settle this matter, how we could deal with this? Yeah. But he decided to take the hardline approach. Let him bring it.
Yeah. In fact, the judge made a note of that on the exemplary damages again, which when he said that instead of responding to the pre-action protocol letter, the defendant felt emboldened on the need to capitalize and host 2 shows. And it's that kind of behavior, that kind of I beg and I bad, that bullying behavior that we don't want to see. Not just in this, not just in calypso and music and so on, but in anything, in any aspect of your life. And then think about it. If you operate in a free and fair mind, a clean heart and a clean hands, everything will always end up in your favor. And that's what we did, and we won.
Well, this year, I would like to tell you that this year is the 8th year of people trying to boycott my businesses.
The way that hamburger tastes, I can't boycott it.
Doubt it. You will be there every week. Right? 8 years now, and I would like to wish all my workers the best on our 8th anniversary, right? As we celebrate 8 years of boycotting. Because every time my name mentioned, we got boycotty business in the bamboo, we got boycotty food place, and every time they boycott, more people has come out. Because if you're boycotting something so long, so I decide I'm going to open up a Baba Salon. And it's only boycott I can give, not Gilcott. Right? Because, I mean, it's like the name of the place already. Let's take 2 more calls before we take this break. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Inchan.
Yes.
Since you win 250,000 plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you should give 150 to the hospital?
Every cent. I am not keeping 1 cent. 100% will be given.
Right, no problem. Thanks. I just checking. Thank you.
I thought my father passed away, boy. You know, I want to know how much he gave. 100%. Every single cent gone.
Yes.
I don't want $1.
Yes, and I want to make the point. He said that from the early stages of the matter. Since the pre-action protocol stage, he said if he wins $1 or he wins $100, all goes towards the hospital.
But this is what I have done. In cases before, a lot of money has gone towards charity. That is how I live my life, right? But let me don't talk about it because I don't want to take away whatever little blessings.
No, I will say it. I made a point in the trial that if one were to attempt to summarize Inshan Ishmael's community activism works, to summarize his life in point form, we still cross 5 pages, not so? We still crossed 5. His witness statement was 100 pages. It was 99, and I went back and I find something to add to one and next page. The list, I wish we could pull it up, but it would be so long. The list was community work. We had to categorize it: community work, activism work, religious work, and so on. And you know, that was in point form. And it's not just you. A lot of people around you, it's the same thing. They may not have 5 pages because they're younger and they now start, and you shorter and you have more room to run. But at the end of the day, if one were to try to summarize him, even in point form, we cross 5 pages and we put it in the case.
Let's take this final call before we take a break. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good night, Inchan.
Good night.
Hello, good night, Inchan.
Good night, good night.
And Mr.
Jagisar.
Good night.
Myself. On behalf of the recalcitrant minority, I want to thank you, Inchan, for your bravery. We are brave people by nature, but I admire your strength and your courage, and I feel very proud to be a member of that recalcitrant minority to that victory, which has long been overdue. I know it wouldn't stop, but this is a start, and I thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
This man, you know how much cases I had before. this man, you know, here happening. Normally, when you go to the station, they just tell you we have to update your fingerprint records. Mine does be up to date. You understand? I do not have to go and update because I so accustomed going in station, so accustomed getting locked up, so accustomed going in court. In fact, Richard would tell you, when I went in the box, I adjusted everything myself, pulled on the mic, nobody didn't give me no permission. I fixed myself to suit, put my drink right there, and I organized myself. There we go.
Yeah, a lot of people think after the victory it was all party and knocking glass. After the victory, we had to prep for the Tuesday matter, and then the matter today, and we have one on Friday.
Monday was in court, Tuesday was in court, Wednesday, today we were in court as well.
In yesterday's matter, when the judge adjourned the matter, what did I tell him? That same day, you're in my office all day.
Yes,
in the
correct.
morning.
And then Richard was telling a judge today that he has his birthday week. Cole, you didn't hear about that one, eh? Today, this man tell a judge, I have my birthday week. What he face,
Yes.
Even the judge was bemused. Richard have a birthday week, not a birthday.
Now, a whole week they take to make me.
We're going to take a break. Remember, you're watching Breaking Barriers, and I still can't get over how short I am. I will have to do some adjustment. No, this is unfair. That's the first thing people has come up to me and say, but wait now, you just look so tall on here, right? And then when they see me, it's like, well, I'm going to tell you. Anyway, you're watching Breaking Barriers right here on IBN Channel 8. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. We'll be back.
I'm Brian. I've been welding for more than 25 years. It's a rough job, so I need tools that last long and work efficiently. The most important tool that I use every day is a welding machine. A good one, in my experience, must last at least, let's say, 4 to 5 years without breaking down or losing efficiency. I've been using a Ronix welding machine for about 4 years now, and it's been a really good companion.
Ronix Premium Quality. Ronix Heavy Duty 89 Series. High efficiency, brushless 20-volt motor. All-in-one professional angle grinder kit. Ronix brushless angle grinder.
Welcome to the home of Cure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. In an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall to our state-of-the-art bottling facility, situated on an ancient underground lake, we're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse to breathe life into every bottle of pure water without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients: water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
This year, protect your home with a beautiful standing seam roof that is built to last. Standing seam roofs are proven to last longer, eliminate potential leak points and rusting that screws cause. Build to Last is offering 5% off your purchase, plus save up to $2,000 with free roll forming of your roofing sheets and guttering. Roofing that's built to last. Build to Last Hardware and Roofing Manufacturing Limited, Southern Main Road, Freeport. Call or WhatsApp 355-7703.
Introducing Berberine Plus by Aja Nutrition, a unique combination of all-natural super supplements berberine, bitter melon, and barnaba leaf. Berberine Plus is clinically proven to provide diabetic support by decreasing insulin resistance, making the blood sugar-lowering hormone insulin more effective, increasing glycolysis, helping the body break down sugars inside cells, decreasing sugar production in the liver, slowing the breakdown of carbohydrates in the gut. Available in TNT pharmacies nationwide.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 4808-715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
See? Watch. You see?
Ladies and gentlemen, they put me to stand back so I will be on the same height with him.
Richard, watch his shoes. His shoes. Come now, man. Anyway, today I spoke. Here happening. I want every small and medium-sized businessman to listen to this. And Richard would verify. I spoke to Richard and several other attorneys today about something that I want done. And what we are going to do, we are going to pursue it. But what I want you, the business people, to do is get ready, because we are going big. All you're going to take something out of our pocket, because the attorneys who get involved, we are doing it for free because we are business people. I looked at Toyota, and I could mention their name because what I'm saying is factual. I look at Toyota's yard and the yard is full. I look at Lifestyle, the yard is full. Cars are in here and they're representing several brands, not one. Cars order on the way and cars ordered and still ain't leave us yet. I cannot get $10,000 to bring down one half a car, but others getting millions of dollars. Now, the responsibility for foreign exchange disbursements is done through central bank, the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. And then the central bank will give to the banks, who will then break it up. And they will give to friends and family. And in fact, today and yesterday, there were some reports in the media. Guys, we had, I have a slide. I just want to deal with this for 1 second, Richard. With the foreign exchange issue. Justin, could you just pull up those slides for me, please? Right. This is economist Dr. Terence Farrell, right? And he said, here he said it, Trinidad and Tobago is not experiencing a foreign exchange crisis, although there might be rationing at commercial banks, which limit access to funds. This is what he said. Let's go to the other side. Now listen to this part now. So how does one explain the fact that people complain about having little access to foreign exchange? Well, according to Farrell, this is because the demand for foreign exchange exceeds supply, and as a result, commercial banks have resorted to rationing. Now, I would want you to comment on this. I think, truth be told, the basis by which the commercial banks do that now is on the basis of essentially relationships that they would have with customers. Farrell said this, however, this does lead to the perception of inequity. The amount of foreign exchange that you get depends on the relationship you have with your commercial bank. Some people have suggested that the bigger players will get more foreign exchange, but that is always going to be the case. So, my dear brother, my dear friend, attorney at law, Mr. Jarissa, based on what this is being said here, not only by this economist, because Jawala Rambaran had exposed the foreign exchange madness that was taking place where other big players were getting, and we on the ground were like dogs. In a position like this, where the government of the day, who is in control of central bank, does the disbursements, and the disbursements are being done unfairly, isn't it fact that there can be some way to force the government hand in regards to something being done, some sort of intervention? Because, number one, I started the foreign news industry in Trinidad. I was the first person to register for a news car. I can't bring in a car now because I am blacklisted because of my mouth, because that has licks the government. What do you think about something like this? Do you think that it makes sense? Tell me what I'm saying is dotishness.
No, it's absolutely correct, and it's been happening for quite some time. Even people who want to go on vacation can't walk in the bank and get 200 US or 200 Canadian, as the case may be. And that's absolute nonsense. At the end of the day, central bank has a policy which they impose on all of the other commercial banks to say this is the cap. This is the limit you can give to a foreign investor, a person of private interest, a small business, a medium business, and so on. And what the commercial businesses are doing is they're moving freely within that policy and sharing the funds, the little that they have, unevenly. And that's why you're seeing certain companies can buy buildings in foreign countries and so on. And that's why that will stifle the small and medium business. And that is why the economy will slowly die. But I am a lawyer, not an economist, and as far as I am aware, as a citizen, I can't even get 200 to go on vacation.
I just came back from Miami, and I'm embarrassed to say this. I am embarrassed to say this. When I went to pay for a rental car, credit card declined. It's only then I remember waiting now, Republic Bank cut credit cards in half, and I have X amount of US, and I had ordered a few parts, and you're going to pay and it declined. Thank God it have a little cash. Boy, here I nearly turn a bag up there because of what we are going through. And when I see that men could bring down one car valued 200,000 US and bring down multiple like that, or have excavators and backhoes, and we have to suck salt. Let me tell you something, and I want to make it clear now. You see all of your small businessmen are catching all in and all of them medium-sized and large businesses that catching all in. Time to come together now. We are going to put together a powerful legal team, and we're going for the jugular. This one, if all you feel we fight hard for this other one going to be bigger. All those who want to support this, I want to see, let me just, all who support this, WhatsApp me now, 684-4762. All who willing to support us in this, get it organized, and let's go. Richard. You're up with the next matter now.
Right. Now, I just want to remind everyone when we initiated, or we were even thinking about initiating that earlier case we discussed, the defamation lawsuit, they said, you can't do that. Calypso is this guy, Professor Selwyn Kudrow, wrote 2 articles about it and so on.
Yes, boy.
I want to make that point because we sort of made groundbreaking decisions there. And of course, all we're saying is that has resulted in benefiting the country. The next matter that I want to address is also somewhat groundbreaking. And once again, a large portion of the society is saying, no, we can't do that. And that's the issue of the Tunapuna-Piako Regional Corporation breaking down the guard booth, which was designed to benefit the residents of Bamboo Number 2. Since the guard booth has broken down, Inshan, you will know more than me, how many house breakings has there been?
We had 2 incidents. There was the last one occurred in the back road where a family was locked into their premises. That's on Temple Street, where a family was locked into their premises by 2 gentlemen. And only when other people came out from the house, they decided to blaze trail. And police were involved in that. I have the video with that. And then there was a break-in on a vehicle, I think close to Jaffer Street there as well. So we have 2 incidents. And then one of the persons who rent from me told me that somebody was jumping wall not too far from where we are, in the middle of the night.
Yes.
So we have some activities taking place.
And correct me before we begin with the documents, correct me. It was a decision of the village council. It was a decision of the people, the residents of Bamboo, that, listen, we need a guard booth, and we're going to put one here and so on. Correct?
That was done through communication with the villagers on a chat. And my son, who at that time was the vice president, went around and got signatures. So we had signatures from 90% of the villagers and almost 100% of the businessmen supporting the construction of the guard booth. In fact, the president, well, ex-president of the village council, he was there helping us put up everything and helping me paint and clean and it.
Right. And it is one of those villagers, after the guard booth was broken down, was so concerned that he sent a Freedom of Information Act request, and he has shared that with you. Yes?
Yes, correct.
And he has gotten the response, and I want to pull that up on screen now. Now, the response is quite extensive. Let's bring it on a bit lower. So it just basically outlines his request and so on. And one of the things he asked is the name. You can pause here. You can pause. Yeah, I know you want to. Right there. Just stop right there. These are the names and ranks and badge numbers of the officers who were present to break down the guard booth. And this is on one page, and another page has the balance. How many is it in total?
Could you scroll down? Let us see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
total.
8.
Right.
He has to go to the next page.
The next page showing the names. Right, could we get the next name? Right, let's zoom up on that. And look the other. 16 officers.
In total. They were expecting some sort of riot.
I had to make a call for that, but go ahead.
All right. Okay, now let's go to page 17. Now this is allegedly the vote calculation of the decision of the council, the elected officials on the council no, this is the wrong one.
That is a complaint.
Yes, we'll get to this. This is it. This is the breakdown of votes of all of the persons on the council who were voted in at the last local government election to break down the guard booth. Look at this there. Hold on, before we scroll. Be it resolved that approval be granted for the demolition of the current guard booth at Bamboo Number 2 between the period Friday the 8th of December 2023 to Friday the 15th of December. And let's get the entire list on one screen.
Go down.
Councillor. And you take it from there. All of those people were voted in. All of those people are represented. No, it's fine.
Don't go too high. Right, good.
Now, of course, the majority vote passed. Those that now notice there's 4 and abstain. There's nobody against, and of course the majority is 4. And these were the people. These are the people who said break down the guard booth. Those people in Bamboo do not need protection. There is no crime in Bamboo, and let them deal with it themselves. That's essentially what they're voting for. Look at the resolution to the top. Who there is your councillor?
Look, she down the road there. Councillor late for flooding Seema Ramsaran. She abstained. She didn't even vote against.
And she abstained.
And she abstained. She did not even vote against. Imagine that. The UNC councillors, the people who you represent the Bamboo people, and you did not even vote against. Bharat did not vote against. Councillor Rupnarain, Jalen Rupnarain, did not vote against. Councillor Pagu did not vote against.
Right. And I want to take it to the top. Councillor J. Austin. He's the chairman, not so? The chairman of the corporation.
Boy, I just try to forget names, yes.
And he voted for. Now let's go. Now let's take it from page 5. And there we go. Now I want to draw a comparison. I believe one of the questions that the villager asked was, what is the status of other guard booths in the corporation that either breached or is in breach of some rule, or more or less that was the question, I believe. And here the response is essentially saying that notices were served on the 3 at the bottom there: Eastern Main Road, Kelly Village, Caroni, Corner David Trace. And this is public property, they are saying. The 3 to the top, private property, and the matter at the Magistrates Court. The one above that awaiting approval from the Line Ministry for demolition. And I believe the one above that is awaiting approval as well. Can you just scroll just to confirm?
Right, scroll again.
All right. So let's go to the next page. Not the next page that I marked.
This is it?
Yes. All right. The last line here. The last line. Paragraph 6. Now this is a letter from the Tunapunepia Regional Corporation I've got a copy of, and it simply says, a resolution was passed to have the guard booth demolished between the period 8th of December to 15th December 2023. At the top of the paragraph, it says, the Chief Executive Officer instructed that the matter be brought to the attention of the members of council. So the CEO instructed that the council make a decision on this matter. Now remember, I wouldn't give the IT team all that work. Remember, just a minute ago, we were looking at other guard booths who are also in breach, waiting for approval from the ministry, waiting for approval to be demolished. So those guard booths that are in breach are waiting approval, but the one for the residents of Bamboo number 2, the CEO directed the council to deal with it. Deal with it now and get a decision, and get whatever the decision is done between December the 8th and December the 15th. Speed.
Justin,
Speed.
I'm sending you a picture now, right? I'm sending you, right, I sent you several pictures. I wonder, while we're on this, I want to show certain things, Richard, because basically I want to show how there's a level of I don't know what word to use, because to me, I had mentioned, now, I live in Bamboo. We recently had a road put in Bamboo when nobody asked. I don't know who asked for the road. The road just show up. The road getting box drains. We can't even get roads and drains fixed in this area properly. Hardly. Things that's supposed to be done, not being done. For years, 20-something years, we complained about traffic. For years, we complained about parking. Remember a gentleman running a container and dead the other day?
Yes. Yes.
No, but that wasn't an issue for some people. Not only that, I remember getting a cut. You see this hand here? This was a vein that burst with a piece of glass, and my worker taking me out. When you bend my finger, it's springing up 4 feet in the air if you see the amount of blood. And I couldn't even get out of Bamboo. His jersey wrapped around my hand. Nobody intervened with that. A businessman from Bamboo number 2 decided that he will buy a property, block the main drain. Valsing get flood 3 times. What the hell the corporation did? You know what the corporation do? The corporation left the drain that he backfilled alone. And they decided they're going to block up the Bamboo number 2 main road, cut a brand new drain, and they put a 200-foot drain in the businessman's property. Right? So let them challenge me. I have asked them time and time again, anything I say false here, challenge me. Yeah. So when I see this sort of thing, let me know when you all have the pictures, guys. Right? When you see this sort of things, I mean, how could you vote whether it is P&M or UNC, and this is the problem in this country. You put people and you hope that they would represent the best. Not what is for their party, because their party has nasty mind people. But you want to put people who will do what is best. Imagine you voting against the security of a village. You voting with the criminals. I mean, something had to be wrong. That is not representation. I mean, it is. It is. So, let me see some of those pictures. This is the whole of St. Augustine Main Road. Where they are parking?
On the streets.
Where is their parking? Call. Where is their business parking? This is off the sidewalk. Zoom into that picture for me. Zoom in. Watch where that T&Tech pole is. No, what the middle, guys? The middle, top. Where that T&Tech pole is?
Any person.
Call, where's that T&Tech pole? It in the bloody people premises. It in the middle of their business. Where the hell is the corporation? Where the hell is T&Tech? But they're seeing that, and this is on the main road. Let's go again. Watch again. Next business again, on the main road. Man parking on the curb. No parking. But the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation conveniently Kokiai. Watch again. We're going again. Run it again. All these businesses. Go again. Next photo. Where are those businesses? All their goods selling. No, pull it back. It's on the pavement. But the corporation can't see this. This is on the main road. We're going again. Let's go again. Next set of buildings here. This is by Evans Street. A set of buildings gone up. Nobody knows nothing about it. But the corporation passing blind. Let's go again. UE doubles. Where is the parking for UE doubles? UE doubles, if you look, you will see there is a main drain there. Zoom in on the left lower part, guys. Left lower. What is that there? And there's a main drain. You have a main drain and you have a business right there. If something needs excavating, look at where these people have their business. Watch where the parking is. But the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation would not see that. Let's run again. Run it. Run it again. Go again. Watch again. The whole accurate main road. This is what is going on all over, and this has been going on for years. They never touch him. They never do anything. But a guard boot to secure a village, we have problems with. Let's go again. I want to remind people, watch this. A bakery put up by the Crepe bus route. There was one guy, a Muslim guy in Gab, who used to sell slippers here. The Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation run him. They say it's illegal to vend there. And they put this now. A semi-permanent structure with electricity off the curb. If a bus or a maxi were to, what's the edge of the maxi there, Richard? You seen the little edge of the maxi?
Yes.
If a maxi were to run off the bus route, where is it going? But you see, this is what the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation turning a blind eye to. So this is I say all these things. Now, this is in bamboo number 2. These are the same colors we got boot. Maybe it was this they come to break down. Watch where the electricity post is, Richard. How come this in bamboo number 2 is not a problem? Could you remind us of what our guard boot looks like, please? I have a picture there too as well. I had attached a picture. I had sent it to you before. You will see it. This is our guard boot. What's the distance from the road? What harm this could have caused?
Yes.
Right? But I tell you as it is. They may go like if anything happened to me, you know. They're going to really get to see my wrong side. Because when you look at this, I don't know if to call it discrimination. I don't know if to call it political victimization. I don't know if to just call it dotishness. Because when I just saw the names of the people you showed there, I'm going to use that document for public knowledge so people could see all those who voted.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Richard.
Yes, let's go back to the document. I want to make reference to, I think we did 5 and 8 already, pages 5 and 8. We can go to 23 now. Or the complaint. Let's take, so while you're pulling it up, there's some background for the people who don't know.
Right.
The corporation said that they received an anonymous complaint. There we go.
Right.
Leave it there for now. Leave it there for now.
Right, hold it up there.
they're saying that they received an anonymous complaint which triggered their investigative steps, which triggered the council to look into the matter, which triggered the vote, which triggered the demolition, all in record time, as we just saw. Because there are other complaints, there are other decisions pending, but the ones for the residents, anything concerning you, and the ones for the residents of Bamboo, however, record time.
Wait.
This is...
Stick up in there 1 minute. 4 years now, I gave the Minister of Works a document showing a contractor thieving material by the riverbank, and my drone pick it up by the airport, thieving the material and carrying it not too far. 4 years now, those documents in the minister's hand. The minister do nothing. Rohan Sinanan. And he's aware of it because I challenged him. Secondly, a contractor was caught on the bus road with blue lights. His wife was driving a vehicle with blue lights. And they, when questioned by the police, because they had siren too, they said it has driven the minister wrong. That vehicle was carried to licensing office and nothing was done. I have complained years and years about things, but you notice, years and years I complained. Nothing happened. They came, you know when they came, after we started to build that boat, 24 hours the Ministry of Works police showed up.
Yes.
You ever hear Ministry of Works police showing up for any days? Man thieving material all over. Man doing all kind of thing all over. Ministry of Works cocky blind, they dotish. All of a sudden, 24 hours. You better continue now. We're going to take 2 pressure tablets.
Bring back up the complaint, because there's something I want to ask you in.
Yeah.
Scroll to the official use only. Zoom into the official use only. So this is somebody in the corporation received the complaint. All right, fine, okay. So this is the complainant has put in anonymous, not available, not applicable, as the case may be, Bamboo number 2 resident, unauthorized construction of a shed-like structure.
A shed-like structure.
Yes, with concrete blocks. That is the complaint. Now I want to ask, hold on. I want to ask you something. I want to ask you, generally, that looks like a bluing pen, that looks like cursive writing and so on.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
I want to go to the official use aspect of the same document.
Go down.
And I want your viewers to ask themselves the question. Same
exact cursive writing.
I say no more. Zoom out. Give the viewers an opportunity to decide for themselves. Zoom out. Look at it for yourselves.
Justin, go to the top of the form. Right? Good. I want to see it big. Zoom in more. The technology we are here, you know, your eye could be small.
Watch in the top right-hand corner. 75 ENG to the type of the cursive writing with the same pen and so on. I am just noting what I observe. You, the viewers, make up your own mind. Take your time. Go through it.
What the hell? Right, and let us now go down to the bottom and take a look. So the complainant and the official is the same or what?
I don't know. Look at the bottom, file number. Look at the bottom. 75 ENG 2023. What you might want to do is to send this to an expert.
Handwriting expert. I will pay for a company abroad.
Yes.
I will get it done.
Right. And let's go to the last one now.
So wait, for clarification now, Mr. Jagisa. For clarification.
This complaint is not even signed. This complaint is a bad complaint.
What is the date of that complaint?
Zoom in, I believe it was the 8th of the 11th, 2023. No, that's not the date, that reference number.
No.
Yeah. 8/11.
Okay, good.
Right, and they had to make a decision by the 8th of December, 1 month. They made your decision in a month.
A month time.
All right.
Going again.
Let's go to page 23, and then that's the one we're going to do, 23 and 24. Now, I highlighted this. We did not get the documents highlighted. I inserted the highlight. I accept that totally upfront. This background for the document we're looking at, viewers, this is a copy of the meeting minutes where Mr. Jeremy Naipaul, represented as president of the village council.
Right.
That's why he's referenced there, Mr. Naipaul's response. Chairman's inquiry refers to the chairman of the corporation. We have the entire document where you can see the entire meeting minutes, and of course at the top of the document, for everybody will know, we'll have the quorum and we'll have this clarified. I am not lying. Chairman's inquiry, the chairman inquired about the entity or individual solely responsible for construction. The chairman wants to know who building the booth.
Yeah, who is
all right? Mr. Naipaul's response, Mr. Naipaul explained that multiple businessmen were involved and no single person could be identified as solely responsible for the construction. So where this nonsense came about after that Mr. Inshan Ishmael was the owner of the guard boot, look at here, this is the meeting minute. He asked and got a response. And even though he got that, he went and he gave an interview and said that you were the owner of the guard boot. What nonsense. No, I want to go to page 24. I want to go to page 24.
And did we attach a letter from the village council which stated that I am the owner?
I'm not sure if it's in this bundle, but we do have that letter as well.
Yeah,
I am just skimming through, you know. There's 2 hours worth of that here, you know.
I'm giving you extra time. We are overtime tonight.
I was speeding through.
Right.
You locked me off at 9:30.
No, you have until you go. I will talk to the man who owns the station. You go ahead, Brahman. Go ahead.
This is ASP Sanga. Again, to the top of the document, you'll see that he was present, representing the officers and so on. Now, remember, this is before. This is earlier. This is before the breaking down. All right? He inquired about the construction material, specifically whether the glass is bulletproof. ASP Sanka wanted to know if the people of Bamboo had money to put up bulletproof glass in the guard boot. He wanted to know if the guard boot was bulletproof. It have crime enough. It does not have crime in Bamboo enough to qualify for a guard boot, but he wanted to know if the glass in the guard boot is bulletproof.
But she like, what, something wrong with she? She never went valsing. In 99% of the cases, a guard boot is placed strategically right off the road. In every guard, you ever see a guard boot 100 meters from where the guard is be? Or where the cars be passing? It's only stupid people wouldn't understand that. How the hell you're going to put a guard boot down the road? And you have to be by. The security has to use the barrier, control the barrier, talk to, open the window, talk to, in case rain falling.
Correct.
Talk to the people from the boot.
Correct.
I don't know, like Ulaha family all over, you know.
So you understand the nonsense that went on behind the breaking down of the guard boot? On one hand, they're saying it's not enough crime. On one hand, they're saying you need bulletproof glass and so on. Now, there's another aspect of the letter, which I didn't mark because I didn't know I was going to get injury time. But there's another aspect of the letter, and you can take my word for it, and when Mr. Inshan publishes it, you can look for it yourselves. There's an aspect of the letter where they said there was no need for a health report. There was no need to get a report from their health officer. That's the Tunapuna Peako Regional Corporation's health officer. And I ask you, without rehearsing this, without practicing this, what was the grounds of the first violation notice?
What was that? Why they said that basically we did not have permission?
And if I knew the page number, I would ask you to pull it up. But the violation notice is there as well.
Yeah.
You were asked to break it down on the basis that it breached public health regulations.
Yes, they said that when they initially came.
Now you remember.
Yes, when they initially came, they came and they put up no vending sign. Because they thought we were going and do vending from that thing.
Yes. The first notice
that
the villagers received was public health ordinance breach.
Yes.
The second notice was engineering breach. And the third notice was no permission.
Right.
All right?
Correct.
And then they are saying that they don't need to do a public health report. So on what basis you came about on that conclusion that it required a notice? On what basis? What happened internally with the anonymous complaint written in the same pen and so on? What was the now they've admitted, and I wouldn't give the IT team all that headache to find it back, they've admitted that they're aware of other guard boots that require demolition. And we're asking ourselves, how come those are still pending demolition? How come those are still pending? 16 officers were available to demolish this one.
I tell you, I was trying to call a man to find out what is he know me, you know. 16 officers, you know, Breds. So you telling me that we guard boot was more important than kidnapping, rape and murder?
Kidnapping, rape, murder, housebreaking and entering, violent crimes, robbery.
Richard, I don't know. Whenever it is I involved in something, boy, real police are sure, boy.
And it was not even... Look, we went through the meeting minutes. The man said there is no sole individual. They just sat in their office and they deem, because Inchon Ishmael is involved, I'm going to do my wickedness and I'm going to break down the guard boot. How is that fair to the people of Bamboo, who since the guard boot has broken down, has suffered at the hands of the criminals? How is that fair? It is not. And the same way, the Croco decision was a landmark decision. I will take the Tunapuna Regional Corporation and to court, and we will deal with them the same way.
Yes, all you hear happening. If all you think he misbehaving, all you should see him in court, you know. I just had to pull him one side and talk to him, you know. He just get me worried. In fact, if ever, just letting you and Cole and all the team know that if I ever do anything and somebody come by all and all you take the case, don't send no pre-action protocol letter. Just tell me how much I owe one time. I just let me know one time so I can sort it out. But Richard, doesn't this, you know what, didn't we see, in fact I had posted something where Valsane had applied and Valsane boot was down for a good little while and they only got approval a long while after. But not only that, Valsane boot is inches away from the roadway, yes. But that is approved.
That is in the response is 54 pages, but I thought we were short on time, but yes, that is in the response as well.
No, go ahead. You have time. I'm giving you time.
Viewers, at the end of the day, that response, if you all get your hands on it, go through it on your own and draw your own conclusions. It is absolute madness, and it's about time somebody put a stop to the unfair, unequal, and unreasonable behavior of the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation, and how they deem necessary to resolve issues. Why do they hate the people of Bamboo number 2? What do they do so?
But let me come back to something, you know. And it had flooding, and we have some matter with that too as well in Bamboo.
Right. So that came up today, and in essence, what
I just wanted to remind people, one is that this matter was in relation to the flooded when Bamboo residents were blamed for causing the flood.
Yes.
We decided, Mr. Jagasa again took the case and decided here happening. We ain't going down that road. Explain to them, Mr. Richard.
Right. Essentially, we asked for certain documents from the ministry, essentially asking them, listen, in a nutshell, you've blamed the people of Bamboo number 2 for encroaching and blocking the riverbank and so on. Do you have any report that says that? Do you have any engineering conclusion, recommendation, anything of the sort? The answer was no. There was no report, no complaint, nothing that gave them the authority to say and blame the people of Bamboo number 2 for the November 2022 flooding. Absolutely nothing. To this day, there is a media release on the Ministry of Works and Transport website under the heading Communication, press release, issued in December of 2022, blaming encroachment of the villagers of Bamboo number 2 for the flooding. That was made, that press release exists to this day without any supporting documents. Another thing we asked for is some documents on the replacement or the servicing of the pumps that supposed to pull out the water and so on. Of course, that was revealed that the pumps were not serviced and the pumps needed replacing and they were not replaced and so on for quite some time. So draw your own conclusion. That matter is pending and ongoing and came up today and comes up for hearing on my birthday week, as everybody will now say.
Well, what is interesting is that this week, and you know I do my own FOIA, what happened is that the road that was built to the back, just to the back of Media, land was utilized from residents. So what we are doing is that through the Ministry of Agriculture, we are seeking to find out if approval was given to divest the land into the Ministry of Works or the corporation so that the land could be utilized for a road. Because you just can't build a road just to the corporation. Number 2, the drainage, etc., all those things, we get the full cost. Who was the contractor? How much the drain cost? How much the road cost? Was written permission given from those people whose land was given up? Was written permission given? Everything are going for. Because you see, this thing, we reach a point in this country where, sadly to say, if I stand up and I hold a red finger or have a red jersey, I could do whatever the hell I want and get away with it. And I think we have reached a point now that we must say enough is enough. That, I mean, I never thought, honestly, Richard, coming back to the guard boot, I never thought in my living years that I would see them coming and breaking it down. I mean, I thought they go say here what happening. We restrict use, we put up a notice, you are debarred from using this guard boot until
you get the
come and the windows and doors that we pay $11,500 for, you break down and mash up all that, brother man.
Yeah.
We could have donated that to somebody, right? Yes. But you can't. Look at the time you come. Look at the time you come. 5 o'clock in the morning. When everybody was asleep, thank God people were going to mosque and they contacted me. They blocked off the Bamboo number 2 main road, refused access. Imagine man couldn't walk. You can imagine, they refused people, pedestrian traffic, people who were supposed to reach work for 6 couldn't get to work.
Yes.
And that is where we reach in this country. But criminals could do what the hell they want, build what they want, thief electricity, thief water, and this is why we have the problem we have.
Yes.
Law-abiding citizens can do something to protect themselves, but the government, $100 million to embolden criminals. That is where we reach.
Yeah, and one of the aspects of the letter, one of the aspects they dealt with was that the chairman said that one man can't control the corporation, can't control the people of Bamboo and direct who can come in and come out. It's explained in the letter. I'll let you take the call.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Captain Gary Griffith?
Insurance, I want a loan.
You want a loan?
Yeah, well, you making me... you are the man?
No. You are the man too, because I hear you only winning case. You causing people to shut down their Facebook page. You're causing them to be absent. Why don't you hear what's happening? You're doing well. You're doing well. The reason I call is because I have my attorney at law here, Richard Jagisa, with me. And we saw a letter from the corporation where 16 officers were used, armed and unarmed, to break down a guard boot. How many officers you used when all was breaking down guard boot in your time?
Well, I really can't recall. Good evening, everyone. Richard, congratulations. Well done to you and your team.
Thank you.
I can't recall ever breaking down a guard boot. The fact is, when I was commissioner of police, we had situations like that. And what we will do is due diligence. We will ascertain the situation to verify whether it is a dead end. And if it is a dead end, then there can be absolutely no reason to warrant not approving such a guard boot, and that is as simple as that. So we were never in a position of having to break it down. Even if you have to break it down, what will happen is that workers will come from a certain place and you'll have one police officer that is just there to monitor the situation.
So you telling me 16 officers, half of them heavily armed with AK-47 and the bullets that Heinz say that illegal, right? Them come with all that, so that is not normal?
Well, again, but to start with, Heinz is a blatant liar. The 556 and 762 is used all over the world. We did an audit by the police service, and it's over 1 million odd rounds we have like that. So he's a blatant liar. He doesn't even understand the United Nations has no involvement in directing militaries and police services about the type of ammunition they use. So Heinz is a typical liar. But that was just a case of trying to put excess force to justify a point. It happened with a lady who was actually working as a civilian in the firearm department, in the police service. They turned up there with about 15 police vehicles. They raided her house, they seized everything, and then a year later they had to return everything. They found nothing. That is the type of intimidatory tactics that will be used by persons. I think it's very unfortunate. There can be no justification unless there was a clear and present danger to state that there was anticipation of some serious threat that will warrant you to have that type of firepower to break down a booth.
No, well, what happens is we heard that they thought that the Bamboo number 2 main road, that boot was a branch of Hamas.
Well, I think that is typical. They expected, and strange enough, there'll be other situations where you'll see people burning tires and whatever. The The police will watch it, turn a blind eye, and walk away. There'll be other situations where people actually build things and nothing would be done. So we have seen it with this government, which is why it is that I was removed, because I was a commissioner of police and I was not going to be intimidated or directed by politicians. So obviously that whole situation in China was totally politicized for all the wrong reasons. It is unfortunate that persons who would have been councillors, they turned a blind eye to it. It was a straightforward case, even if it is that it was built without the proper information, the proper whatever. It's a straightforward case. You go there immediately, you get the documentation, you realize that it is a dead end. So it means that anybody who goes down into that road, there's only one, unless there's a back road that allows you to get back onto another part of the highway.
No other road.
Right. And that is why it is that you'll see so many gated communities. The gated communities are approved when there's absolutely no access to get into another road. Right. So, for example, there was a lot of confrontation in Carenage and by Bayshore there, where they were blocking the road, but that road actually ran parallel to the Western Main Road, and it allowed people to come back out, and people were breaking the barriers, and it's a whole set of bacchanal. If it is that it's a dead end, and the majority of the
residents,
persons here said the residents agree, that can be approved within a day. There was nothing. I could assure you, in a year's time, when the government changes, that kind of nonsense and victimization would not take place.
Thank you very much, Mr. Griffith. Captain Griffith, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much, my brother. Oh, hold on, Gary. Oh, he gone. You had a question?
Yeah. How long he said before the government change?
About a year.
All right.
Well, we have election in a year time, next year, January. Well, the way things looking is that it looks as though the PNM is on an election footing, because they're having meetings. They're actually going out and meeting people now, which they never did before. So that is the next story by itself. Mr. Jagisa, any additional things to what we discussed tonight, sir?
No, of the 23 cases, I just want to tell the chairman of the Tunapuna Regional Corporation,
we come in.
The way what Croker is experiencing now, you're next.
But man, here what happening, I just get excited. Look, my hands started sweat with joy. Anyway, folks, this is where I have to wrap it up here. I would like to thank Mr. Jagisa and his team, Mr. Mungal, Mr. Cole, Trancuso, and of course, myself for being here, because I could have been absent and that would have been a story by itself. And just to let you know...
You were early, you were the day before.
Yes,
The day before you said
I called you, yes. And you had to bring that up, all right? And just to let you know, could we get a picture with the two legal teams, please? Right, we have the legal team from our side. Cole, I find the glasses didn't take you, so I left you just the way that is, right? Mr. Cole. And one was that I put up that picture today. Two persons asked if that fella they married, and then they asked if the other fella married too. This thing happening too often, So let us start to put on all the ring and thing when that happened. And of course, the man in the middle, the instigator, right? And then of course, we have the team from the other side. We have
Senior Counsel,
Gilbert Peterson. We have Scotland, a member of parliament, and of course, we have Kareem, attorney at law, Kareem Marcel. All right, so those are the two, and basically this is how I do it. I see no reason to denigrate anybody, and this is how we roll. Again, from all of us, I thank, from Trinidad and Tobago, I would like to thank this team for doing something that nobody stood up and did before, even though the players who were affected before were bigger Sawatis than me, are talking about the politicians. So this signals a start, and I said it before, your names don't have to be published. We don't want to know your business name, right? But like I said, this is going to be something where we need to pay the attorneys, because they can't keep doing everything for us free, because this is big matter. This is for your business. Contact me and let us do this together. All right, so in ending, I would like to thank everyone. Oh yes, let me just remind you, we're having a fun day at Baraka Grounds, and this is, of course, that's next week Sunday. Not this Sunday coming up, the next Sunday. And Richard, I would love to have Richard there where we could dunk Richard. The good thing about dunking Richard in a tank of water, there's no overspill. It's kind of like a harpoon going in the water, right? So there's absolutely no overspill. And the person who is pelting, they refer to them as the dunker. And the one who's being dumped is the donkey.
Once is not the dump, the dumper and the dumpy.
Right, so bring out the kids.
I will be there.
This is our annual fundraiser next week. Massive event. So come out in your thousands and be part of this next week Sunday. All right, so God bless you folks. Thank you so much. And again, Richard, to you and your family, I would like to thank your father and mother and the entire family for all the support that they have given us. And folks, for all those of you who have supported us, I thank you again so much. Remember, you can communicate with me via 6844762. And for those of you who I cannot advertise for any attorney here, it's against the law. But for those of you who need any information, you can contact me directly. All right, so take care, folks. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.